Where when we started the company, the very first two customers we had were in the internet advertising space and a streaming space. So all advertising is local, and for streaming, localization is very important for contractual rights as well as monetization. So we have a long pedigree. We're talking 21 years. Before we even had a company office, we had customers that were doing that stuff. So we've grown up in both of those spaces, and absolutely monetization through advertising is a place where we play. Nobody, again, gives you information. They don't volunteer, hey, this is where I am, please target me. With IP addresses, it's seamlessly done. It's non-intrusive, privacy-sensitive way of targeting people among a bunch of different metrics. We talk about location, but it's really things like even point of interest, like where you are, if you're at a hotel or if you're at a Starbucks or something like that. Your connection type, mobile carrier, whole bunch of little piece of information that you can put together to get a picture of who you're dealing with, and then target them with something that's interesting to them, because nobody likes being targeted with uninteresting stuff. I mean, they barely like being targeted with anything, but if you're going to give them something that's relevant to them and not something that's just one size fits all.
So we've got a really cool use case that we're working on right now with this group that up north that they basically provide programming to schools across the country. They actually, their core business is to do actual plays, like they go and show up physically. Obviously, all that is changing. So what they're looking at doing is virtualizing all that. They already have a studio up in Minneapolis, and they're talking about, delivering programming, but it has to be defined by school district. And the sponsors, it's all sponsor based. So all those sponsors are very, very local, the local energy company, the local utility company. And so all of that has to be directed, the content, the advertising, all of it has to be directed by location. It's not, and from a security standpoint, they only want people in certain school districts or even being on the actual school network in order for, in order to receive that programming.
That's it. So one of the cool things, and this is, again, somebody that's been doing this for a long time, but when we started and going down to this real localized content, when we started even being like targeting at a country basis was, oh my God, you guys are awesome. At this point, we're able to get down sub zip code, which we're talking school district level and beyond and beneath, which is kind of a break. We poured a bunch of money into this stuff. It'd be boring if we kept doing the same thing, frankly, but we've tried to keep up with what our customers' needs are, which is deliver very, very localized IP targeting, which before wasn't even, I mean, you guys know it. I mean, Pete, you've been in this industry for a long time. IP targeting is a general targeting and less specific. We've been able to almost mirror what you can do with mobile, not to the GPS level, but to zip +4 even in a lot of cases. So it's not your grandfather's IP targeting now. So stuff like school districts, perfect use case for what we do. As a mom and pop type things, like even I was thinking the other day, like a mom and pop pizzeria down the corner, they didn't want to advertise on a DMA level. You're not going to go from Cumming to Decatur to get pizza. Right. But if you're talking about around the corner, that's pretty cool stuff. And that's what we can do now, which is really, really neat.
There's going to be a lot of innovation for you guys coming up. I mean, like all these different use cases we're talking about and all the stuff we're hearing, any of these, all these physical events, physical venues, physical performances are all generally local in nature. And now once you virtualize that, how do I virtualize it, but still be local? That's going to be huge.
That's a great point. And I think we're kind of it seems like we're at the beginning of it. And this was the awakening, is that we've always, as I think y'all started, like, this is where everything's going, but we accelerated it so quickly that I don't know that there's a going back, because people are comfortable doing business the way they're doing it now.
We're not going to let it go back.
Yeah. And right. You shouldn't. Right. And I think that's all of us. We should all be in this together to make it as seamless as possible with a real world experience. And
salute everybody. Thanks for participating. I appreciate you guys.